Hello and welcome to the channel. This is Jupiter Jazz, and hopefully you guys have been having a great summer. Um, I know some of you guys are still like on the grind with work. I know some of you guys are trying to do summer school. As of recent, I know a lot of people are on breaks and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying that. I feel like everybody deserves to have some sort of break. Sometimes working too much as well is just not healthy as well for the mental health. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the summer and just having the warm weather and being able to kind of cool down. Hopefully going to the beach or something to cool down with. I know down here where I'm at, it's so like hot. I recently went to the beach, like I think probably like a week ago or something like that, and it was very much needed because I tend to go maybe every summer just once, and I'm not really like a beach guy or a dude to really like get out as much like that. So I felt like I really owed it to myself. I've been honestly grinding out a lot of like work and school, and sometimes you kind of have to get out of that routine, and plus I started doing my YouTube. I have various hobbies as well, so it's always nice to kind of just get out of the norm and just do something different or just try to relax. Today I'm gonna bring you guys a little bit of Dead Cells, just because like I said before, this is gonna be like a conversations video, just me rambling, talking, just the same whatever I feel like in the moment, and just gonna talk to you guys for a bit. And I recorded, I think, like 16 minutes of it should be, just like the beginning of this game. Um, like I said before, when it comes to these like conversation videos, like I want it to be thoroughly something I enjoy, like just a game that's gonna be lighthearted and something to sit back on. Excuse me. And Dead Cells was one of those games that I felt like would have been like just cool for the channel. Something kind of like Enter the Gungeon, like a Hollow Knight. Like these indie games deserve so much praise for what they are, and I feel like putting that in the mix of my channel would, be like, I think a nice change of pace, to just kind of like give them some sort of light, and regardless, like you guys know that I'm not really the type of dude to want to do numbers like that. Like I could care less. I kind of do these things just because I actually enjoy them. To be honest, and like I said before, hopefully you guys are like enjoying the summer. I know some of you guys are probably gonna still be working or have your big boy, big girl jobs, and you guys are still doing summer school, this and that, whatever the case may be. Not everybody has like the liberty to kind of just enjoy themselves for months on end and stuff. So regardless of who you are, hopefully like you guys are still putting in that work, and just know that like I might not know you guys, because I really don't know at the end of the day who actually cares to watch the channel or not. But uh, to know that I'm proud of you guys. Like me personally, I've been working nonstop, like nonstop since I was maybe like 16 years old. About to turn 23, and it's been kind of like a norm for me to either be working, doing school, just always constantly being busy, and sometimes I don't really take time for myself. And I feel like nowadays I'm attempting to do that a little bit more often than not, because it gets tiring, like having to work every single day, and doing school, like it's understandable. For me personally, I've always had to juggle two jobs, and I was doing a full time college, and that in itself is very demanding sometimes, and sometimes people are like, "What the fuck?" You know, like, "Holy shit, you're doing that much." Like, how can you even manage? You know, and sometimes it is difficult to manage, and I won't lie. You know, like it's not always like easy, and it's not always like me thinking that I'm the best just because I do so much work. You know, I kind of just, I guess that's just the way my brain functions. You know, like I've always just been used to working, and working, and having to pay bills. You know, the normal things. You know, like it's just, I feel like that's just how life kind of rolls. But um, I think as of recent, I feel I wanted to kind of implement a little bit more of like my hobbies into myself, into my own routine. You know, I guess that's something I would want to talk about during this conversations video. Just routines. You know, like to me personally, it's a little difficult to do like routines because I'm not a structured person when I feel like I should be. For the career that I'm into, I feel like I need to be a little bit more organized, but sometimes since I put a lot on my plate, I kind of just like roll with the punches, and I'm like, oh, I'll get to work when I get to work, and at this point, it's just like wake up, go to the first job. I wake up like a little bit before noon, um, and then from then probably like spend 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours in the first job, and then uh, grind out like the next 3 hours, 4 hours at my other part-time job, and then those together are pretty much create a whole full-time job. And alongside that, I usually just get like probably like a day or two off. So when I am fully constantly grinding, it becomes a little bit troublesome for me to try to do like hobbies of mine, or like, you know, to get out of the mindset. You know, like I think that's what like it's difficult to do routines if you're not like implementing a little bit of your like hobbies. And sometimes, like, at least for like my mentality, I sometimes beat myself up because I'm like, oh fuck man, I wish I could just be able to like create a video right now, or like I wish I was pushing out a little bit more content than I should have, and stuff like that. And but sometimes I kind of think like I should owe myself some sort of break, um, and kind of just sit back for a bit, you know, relax, because um, I feel like I owe myself to do so because of how much I end up working and stuff like that. Like how much I've done for myself to even have started this YouTube channel was a big step for me, because I don't know, man. Like I said before, I think in previous conversations, like uh, I feel like I had so much fear of like whatever people were gonna say, or I don't know, man. Like just like I'm the type of dude that like I don't go out like that. Doesn't mean I'm not a social dude, or that I'm not chill with somebody or anybody. Like it's just more so like me personally, and I feel like that's like a lot of people, especially when you start becoming an adult. Not everybody, not every adult. Like a lot of people still are uh, functioning members of society, but but me, I'm just a little bit just kind of like I kind of like I kind of isolate myself a lot, and because I feel like that's the only way I'm able to kind of keep my composure and have a mentality of my own, in a sense that like I want to steer myself in a certain path, and be great at what I want to do in life, which is like my computer science. Like I want to get into coding, and every time I tell myself that, I'm always like, okay, let me get myself in a routine. Let me start doing this. Okay, let me get myself. Let me wake up at this certain time, and boom, let's start coding at this and this and this amount of hours, and then you got to do full time job, and then you got to do full time college. And then plus on top of that is just, oh, okay, now I gotta get myself into my hobbies as well. And sometimes I think that's why I kind of like owe myself a little break, because it's just like I think of myself of when I was probably like a few years like younger, and I personally never thought I would have even if you guys didn't know, I do like IT work at a middle school I grew up on. uh, I used to attend this childhood middle school of mine, and now as an adult, I am an employee there, and I work uh, as an IT. It's kind of like something that's gonna be towards my path, and I feel like that's something I never even thought I would do. And even then, it's still like a pretty simple thing, like as an adult, you end up getting jobs a lot quicker, and so and so person, and it just becomes pretty easy. But as a younger person, I feel like you don't think you'll ever reach that certain goal, because you feel like that's impossible. Like, how could I ever meet those requirements? But I feel like the older that I'm getting, uh, the more I feel like it's easier, as long as you take like the path and be patient with yourself, because I feel a lot of people get impatient, and that's when they start digging themselves in some sort of hole. I feel like that's why routines in general are like at least pretty important, in the sense that you have to do everything in moderation. Don't also cure yourself trying to constantly work and like meet the impossible, sleep like 2 3 hours, and like you're in a constant grind, people waking up at 3 4 in the morning, like, now I gotta do this. I'm a person that I feel I work on my own time, and sometimes that's bad, sometimes it's good, depending. But I feel like I owe myself to give myself at least a breather, and like, regardless, I never ended up being so strict on my routines, but I still stuck to a routine of like, okay, I gotta wake up, I gotta go to work, um, I gotta do school, try to grind it out. I haven't been successful, like, to the point of like being on top of a company or doing these crazy things, but I've been successful in my own merit, and I feel like that's something that you need to feel accomplished, like, but with yourself, like, I'm working towards so many goals, and because I set myself up in routines, I'm able to kind of work a little bit towards that goal. Now waking up, just working normally in school, doing doing my homeworks, doing my other part-time job, and within that, as long as you stay kind of at least structured enough to the point where it might land you somewhere else, like, stick to that. Don't. And if you feel like you need to completely cut that off and then start a new routine, as long as it's working towards uh, your path towards growing and trying to find yourself, don't feel so necessarily like tied down to just one certain thing, or like that you have to, like I said again, like, be constantly like killing yourself to do so. These, in my own eyes, I feel like, regardless of whatever company I end up landing on, or this or that, like, I feel like employees are always replaceable, man. Like, I feel like deep down, like, some people or some employers are not gonna value you to the worth that you are. Like, you are worth so much more just because you are a living being. That's how I felt all my life. I feel like that's why I've always done things my own way, and you know I know that people always want to be like millionaires, billionaires, and all this social media like really really paints a different picture for people. But these same people are still also lost. These same people, I feel like, are not truly satisfied, regardless of how much money or or fame people have. Like, I think you just kind of have to search like within yourself and have a routine where you're gonna be satisfied with yourself. You know, have a decent routine. Like, don't don't comply with anybody else but yourself. Like, you do what you feel like is necessary for yourself, because you set your own goals, you set your own routines, and I feel like I've set my routines to the point where I have my responsibilities of still doing work, my job, and I feel like these hobbies help me out so much in terms of like, you know, my YouTube and stuff like that, and I'm able to conversate with y'all for just the meantime that it is 16 minutes, and I still feel okay, and I didn't beat myself up because I didn't set myself up to constantly be running this certain schedule to release a YouTube video, because I rather release a video where I'm fully okay and like I'm prepared to be able to talk to you guys, rather than just like gassing myself out and giving you guys something that's false. And honestly, guys, that will wrap up this video, but I hope I get to see you guys on the next one. And till next time, peace.